When I start shooting, all y'all gonna clear out.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today I want to talk a little bit about Tekken 8 once more. At the start, I do want to say once again, just thank you for 40,000 subscribers. I do appreciate that. It's been a long journey. We had a lot of ups, we had a lot of downs. We had Ludwig calling us trash and AI across the timeline, but I love it regardless. Thank you, everyone. A video that I made a couple of days ago was talking about the NA Tekken crisis. And this was kind of sparked by the conversation that was had on Joe Budden's live stream, where Spaghetti Rip spent about like 2, 3, 4 hours talking about what's going on there, talking about how those players have a real problem. And it's a couple of different things that I talked about in the video, which is why that video was so long. But now we kind of see the next step of that, right? Everyone was talking about how it's too expensive to move around, and that's kind of true, right? A lot of people didn't travel from EU to EVO because it's so expensive to catch that flight, and then EVO price is kind of expensive as well. But then a lot of people were also talking about the unmotivation that is sweeping across NA, where so many people are uninstalling the game, so many people are quitting, so many people are saying, screw it, I'll just stay home and make content instead of go. Now, what we've seen is a lot of people actually decide to do the opposite. FDX went to the EVO and chose not to stream, and he competed. It was fun watching him on stage. And then you had a bunch of other streamers as well do it. Joe Budden, Joe Crush, etc. I can't really remember all of the different talking points that was had surrounding NA and how that region is kind of struggling. And people were saying, you guys need to get motivated. What do you need to go to a Pakistani, boot camp and practice a little bit, travel around a tournament a little bit, do something to just put yourselves out there. And it was really a talking point at EVO. So many different commentators were talking about how NA is kind of struggling right now. And then as the time went on, through day 1, through day 2, you start to see people perform well. And you start to see the conversation change a little bit, where it's like, these guys aren't struggling. They're actually fighting really hard. They're winning. They're competing. They're moving up the bracket. And I just want to highlight a couple of these players and just talk about some of the great work that they've done before this tournament conclude. We'll start off with Joe Budden. I'm a fan favorite of Joe Budden. This guy has radically changed Tekken, in my opinion. He's bringing a new attitude to the player base that I think has been lacking. This guy just started really competing at a high level, and he's made a name for himself. At EVO Japan, he wasn't able to compete though because he scheduled his flight the same day as the tournament start. His flight was slightly delayed, which means he couldn't show up on time and got disqualified. What do you think he did months later for EVO Vegas? The same exact thing. Bro scheduled his flight the same day EVO Vegas start. His flight got delayed by 3 hours, and bro got disqualified again. Crazy work, Joe Budden. Joe Budden, this is like Pakistani problems. Like the Pakistani players, it was like this running joke that the hardest part of the tournament is getting to it for them. And it's like, bro, what are you doing? This guy got 769th place at EVO. But the funny thing is, he actually wins one game and loses twice. Someone else in his bracket also didn't show up and got disqualified, and as a result, they declared him the winner. So he has a better record than some people at EVO, and he wasn't even there for the first day, which is kind of funny. But then another person who did really good, a lot of eyes was on Joe Crush. 49th place is what bro has, and he has 5 wins and 2 losses. And when you look at his bracket, those 2 losses comes at the hands of fellow Americans. You have Anakin and you have Shadow dealing the lethal blows to put Joe Crush out of the tournament. The round count on that was 1-2 and 0-2. This kind of just speaks to how difficult EVO is, and sometimes you run into the people from your own region and you go head to head. I don't know whether or not when he played against Anakin if it was a Jack mirror match, but that would have been pretty interesting if Anakin did come out on top, because when people think of the best Jack in NA, they obviously say Joe Crush. But if Anakin won that, you guys can confirm whether or not Anakin did play Jack. I'm sure he did, but confirm it in the comment section. Did he do it? That would be interesting. Next up, you have Junior 20Z. For those of you who don't know, this is Shadow 20Z's brother, to my understanding. And this person came in 33rd place, and they lose to CBM, and they also lose against JJ Breeze. But also, before he goes down, he beats Trizzy the Rapper and Farzine. Those are two very tough opponents, and getting Farzine out of the tournament definitely helped out a lot of people, because that guy, didn't, correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't he win the last tournament? I don't know, my mind is full of all of these ideas, and it's hard to keep track of who actually did what at which point in time, but Farzine is a threat. So that's very, very big to get him out of there, right? And then next up, you have also coming in 33rd place, Jimmy J. Tran. 6 wins, 2 losses. He loses to AK, and he also loses to another Pakistani player, Quazmir. You can see how dangerous these guys are. But he goes on to beat Trunky and a couple other people. Jimmy J. Tran, for those of you who don't know, is one of the best Brian Free players on the planet. He did a lot of great work the further back in history you go. Now he's kind of like more casual. I believe he's also a father, so he has more responsibilities than just sitting there and, you know, practicing Tantra Upper all day. But the fact that he still can make it out and still compete and still does what he does, a lot of people love it, and people will always be a fan of Jimmy J. Tran. I also want to note one major thing that Jimmy J. Tran did in the past was defeat Arslan Ash. He was one of the first to do it. Back when Arslan showed up, he was very untouchable, very unstoppable, and Jimmy J. Tran was one of the first people to deal a lethal blow, and that was a huge win for NA at the time. So you can see that he not only has skill now, he had skills then, and he had skill way back then. Next up, now we're moving up in the bracket. You have Cuddle Core coming at 17th place. 6 wins, 2 losses. Cuddle Core battling through adversity. I'm sure you guys all know about the thing that's going on with her, but she's still showing up to the tournament and playing really, really well. Earlier when I said that Junior beat Farzine, well, guess who helped get him out of there? Cuddle Core also got a game on Farzine, but not only that, Book as well. So she definitely left her mark on the timeline. Now, she lost to Crescent, one of the best Korean players currently right now. If you guys don't know that name, I didn't know the name before too. The chat told me who the name was. I just saw the skill on the screen. This guy is going to be one of the best Koreans. A couple of months ago at a big Korean tournament, it was him and Ulsan in grand finals. Ulsan picked Azina, surprised the whole crowd, and won. But before that, the guy was looking unstoppable. And the other person, Ninja Killer, we'll talk about Ninja Killer in just a second. He is doing something amazing. One of the last standing Americans in EVO was Shadow at 9th place before being taken down by John Ding and also Arslan Ash, which for those of you who don't know, in Tekken 7, Shadow beat Arslan 6-0, 6 rounds to 0. Arslan got wiped out, but he got revenge this time around and beat him 0 games to 2. But before that happened, Shadow took out Elias, Keisuke, Joe Crush, and a couple of other names as well. And you could just see that all of the conversation about NA went full circle here. And these guys showed up and competed. They left all the controversy to Twitter. They left all the chaos and the yapping to the Moonsault Slayer, and they went out there and they performed. The one who did it the best though, the one who makes it in the top 8 and is guaranteed at least 7th place is Ninja Killer. 8 wins, currently 1 loss. His only loss is to Lohai, which by the way is still in the bracket, and I believe he is going to face him later on. Are they going to have a rematch in top 8? No, Lohai's first opponent will be Arslan. But if Arslan beat Lohai, he will send him into losers, and based on the trajectory of that, if Ninja Killer beats John Ding, he will then get a run back with Lohai. So that's something he would practice for. But for right now, that's the only loss that he has. All of the people he played a role in eliminating was CBM, Cuddle Core, John Ding, Ao, and a couple of other names. This guy Ninja Killer is living up to the hype. NA was begging and asking for a champion. We remember the days of Little Majin stomping around the stage and smiling to the camera. We remember Anakin with the Red Bull hat going toe-to-toe with the Koreans. And now Ninja Killer, all these years later, is bringing it back. A lot of people have hope in this guy. A lot of people have faith in this guy. For those of you who don't know, this guy came over from Mortal Kombat. And I will not let the record forget that when he came over from Mortal Kombat, there were so many players talking trash, talking about Mortal Kombat players can't play Tekken. Because you got to remember, Sonic Fox also came over to Tekken and was playing Zafina. So we've seen some of these top guys come to Tekken and everyone was like, you guys can't compete in our game. You guys can't keep up with us. Wagging the finger like Tekken players do. Some of them, okay, yeah, they fell off. They didn't do well. They're back to playing whatever game. Ninja Killer battled through adversity, battled through the hate, through the criticism, and now everybody's on his side. Everybody's rooting for him. Now he earned the title of a Tekken player. Now he earned the title of NA's best. It's all on him. He's the last remaining person. Will he be able to do it, or will top 8? Top 8. No American is. When's the last time has an American won EVO? We had Little Mach get close. We had Anakin get close. Will Ninja Killer kind of get close like them? Or can he battle through? I mean, the top 8 looks dicey, bro. You have a couple of Koreans, 2 Pakistanis. It's not going to be easy, but EVO top 8 never is. And we don't want it to be. The reason why it's difficult is the reason why we love it. NA standing there alone with Koreans and Pakistanis. No EU players made it through. Not many of them showed up. But this now is the current state of North America. Silencing all criticism,